Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is part 2 of a series where we are revisiting the Summer Wells case with Fred, Ziggy, and Donna Serafina. So if you guys missed the first part, be sure to watch that later after this stream. And if you're unsure of kind of where we're going with this, I definitely think you should refer back to that first, listen there, and then go from here. Again, once more. So on our last stream, we left off discussing day 1, so the day that Summer Wells actually vanished. And Fred, you told us a lot of jaw-dropping information. It was very, very interesting. And I know that the audience was very interested in it also. Donna, weren't you shocked by a lot of it?
Yeah, I was especially shocked. There was a lot of new things that I didn't know. I knew that there was rumors of Andy Bernard being up and down that road at the time Summer went missing. But what I didn't know, and what Fred told us, was that Andy Bernard only admitted he was on that road when the police showed him surveillance camera footage from other neighbors. So in other words, he lied to the police about his whereabouts and to the general public, according to Fred. And so that puts him there. And Fred said when he was coming back out of the hollow, he seemed to be coming out in conjunction, I think he said, with a blue pickup truck, so that there was another person as well as him tailing him on the way. I think that's what Fred said. You can correct me if I'm wrong. And then the other thing that was big for me was that George Bernard, who is Andy's father, was standing at the end of the road trying to figure out what people got information. And then that is weird in itself. And then Don Wells, when he went to Fred Hill's house that night, he didn't ask to look around, because if my daughter was missing, I'd be like, can I look in your garage? Can I look around your house? Can I look in your closet? Totally. In fact, I would probably be kicking in doors. Instead, Fred says that Don Wells went there and didn't even ask to look for Summer. He was just talking about, oh, well, I'll see her again in the rapture, which is, if you don't know, when the Christians believe that dead people suddenly raise from the dead. Newsflash, they're never die to begin with. But so that's how Don Wells was talking. Another thing was that I had told Fred that I saw a hunchback guy around the barn where I saw a trade-off happen with Summer, where Summer was delivered to some other people. And Fred identified the barns up there in the hollow as being across this road from Andy Bernard's uncle, John Smith, now deceased, one of the 20 or so people now deceased around the bottom of this crime. Or Doug Gott, who also was staying next door to John Smith. He's now dead as well. And he also frequented that area and the area on Stardust where there's a barn. So we've pretty much identified the two likely trade-off places for Summer Wells. And then, so then Fred took us through the first day, what he experienced the first day. And that's what that 2-hour live stream is about. It's really interesting. I am glad to be able to give Fred a platform. I am sick and tired of these freaking Bernards. I am sick. I'm so tired of them. It's time to call it out. That's how I feel. And that's why I'm here. Yeah. So welcome, Fred. You're among good company on this one. I'm over the Bernards.
Well, what I'm over is the whole infighting stuff. We are all here because we're interested in justice for Summer Wells. Whatever it is that happened to her, we want to make sure that the people who perpetrated this violence are held accountable. So why are we not uniting, coming together, and actually making change in a positive direction? Instead, it's like creator versus creator, and then Donna gets attacked, I get attacked, Ziggy and Fred get attacked. For what? What do you think you're doing to make a positive difference in the case at all if you're fighting? We want to see that the people who did this come to justice. Like, that should be number one mission. Nothing else, no infighting, no gossiping. just get with the program, people. Donna is a great resource. Fred is a great resource. The hope was bringing the two together, that maybe Fred Hill could make sense of what Donna had seen when she channeled this, August of 2021. This information is not new. I mean, she saw this a long time ago. It's that she's now connecting to things she saw, and Fred is finding meaning, or let's say assigning value to what she saw. Yeah.
When I described about Candace turning a person turning a different way than you'd expect off Ben Hill Road, and he knew right away. He said, "Oh, that meant she went up into the hollow," and then I told him about the guy with the hunchback, and it was pretty easy from there to identify the two barns that are associated with that guy, who's now dead. So it really doesn't matter if we talk about him. He's one of, like I said, probably about 20 people that are now dead.
I've never seen anything like this, guys. Have you? In any case that we followed, so many dead people associated.
No, but it makes me wonder, am I just like is there really an influx of people passing away, or am I just like paying attention to it? Is it, but it really does seem abnormal. Like it seems so to many.
It does. It's so bizarre to me. Yeah.
Well, one thing all these people have in common is that they may have seen something. Like I have no doubt in my mind, if Fred went back there, he'd be found dead too. No doubt.
Oh, I know. I think it's so great that he's not there any longer. Safer for him. Okay.
So on that first live stream, we went through day one, and it surprised even me. The information that came out surprised even me, and I'm not surprised very easily.
Right.
So then we were going to start with day two. Like when you wake up the next day, what happens, Fred?
Pretty much just the law enforcement, they're off and on all day and stuff. I mean, I was trying to think what happened first that morning. They had came and asked some questions and stuff, and that we had went and I'd showed them some different locations. I rode around with them most of that day.
Uh-huh.
Well, so you rode around with law enforcement?
Yes. There's 4 of them I rode around with that day. And we went to certain places that, like when you go out Ben Hill and turn left, the first driveway on the right, there's some wells and stuff that I was pointing out to them and stuff and showing them where they were just asking if any well, if I could show them where wells and stuff was, where I was raised up there all my life, pretty much knew where everything was, or septics, any kind of buildings that's kind of tucked away that they didn't know about and stuff. So we mostly was on Simpson Loop, which is straight across from the shed at the bottom, if people don't know. And I was showing them places on that road and stuff, joining Beach Creek, that a lot of wells, septic systems, houses that there's one house particular that we went to check because it's been known for people to hide out from the law and stuff on that actually had power on it, but it appeared that nobody lived there. It's all growed up, trees all around it, everything.
Yeah, they just kicked that one right in, didn't they?
Yeah, when we walked up to it, they just kicked the door in and went straight in on it because they suspected somebody in there.
What kind of vehicle were you guys riding around in? Was it a marked vehicle?
No, it was a maroon Dodge truck, 4-door.
Okay.
Were you privy to any of their conversation, like about what they thought? Because clearly they suspected Don Wells being involved in this disappearance from the very beginning. And so I'm wondering, what kind of things did you overhear them talking about?
I mean, at first they was talking about they suspected him owing a drug debt and stuff. That's what they wanted me to record on and try to hit on Don, was about who he owed and stuff like that. And try to talk to him about, no matter how much money and stuff he owed, if that we could get her back and stuff, if Lonely knew where to go about getting her and all that.
That's what they were telling you to say, is just say we could get him up with the money.
Yeah, no matter how much money, whatever. I mean, that can be handled as long as we know where to take the money and stuff too.
Wow, Fred. Why do I say wow? I say wow because August 2021, Donna, people want me to introduce or give a little more background info. Let me tell you real quick. Donna, I found Donna in 2020 after I literally with my own eyes and ears witnessed her solve an entire case like 4.5 months before these missing kids were found in their stepdad's backyard. So when they were found, I reflected back that I felt like I had heard that information before, right? It was egregious. They had very egregious murders. And so I went back to Donna's, I picked to her video, her actual video. It picked up where it left off. And my mind was blown because I was hearing these details that only like, I don't know, a couple months later started to kind of trickle out when Chad Daybell had his preliminary hearing. So the long and short of it is Donna has over the years taken on many cases that we followed and always gotten to the nitty gritty details before we ever heard about it from mainstream media or law enforcement. And in the case of Summer Wells, what's really blown my mind right now is in August of 2021, Donna stated that she felt that Summer's disappearance was basically due to a drug debt that the parents had incurred, namely Dawn, right? But it was really Candace who wanted to get rid of her. And so hearing you say that, Fred, blows my mind because that's what Donna said. That was part of it.
And part of it was jealousy on the part of Candace and this things that they were doing, trading their daughter for around the neighborhood. I mean, you're going to have to read behind the lines a little bit here. They were doing things that they could have went to prison for and would lose their other kids. So they wanted her gone. And there was also dynamics within the house where power dynamics where Summer's realizing she does have a little play against her mother. These kind of things where Candace wasn't not a suitable person to be a mother at all. Right.
Yeah. And I feel like that's come out a lot over the years, especially when she lost the other kids, when Child Services took them about a month or two into this.
Yeah. So she smashed her 2-year-old son's head to the point where she cracked his skull, and he had to live for decades or many years in a group home because of severe brain damage. And then on Don Wells' part, he did sell, according to his ex-wife, he did sell one of his kids to drug dealers already. Kids he had 20 years prior, and that ex-wife went and had to retrieve the little boy that Don Wells already sold. So this would not be his first time.
Right. And to clarify, Candace, the son that she hurt, battered, we'll say, that was in her first set of kids. So she basically had 2 sets of kids. She had her daughter and son years ago, and then she had these 4 kids, in the last 15, 17 years, whatever.
By the way, they knew law enforcement had mentioned the day of that Summer's disappearance in front of Fred. They had mentioned about the other child, Dawn trying to sell the other child. So they knew about that incident.
Okay.
The day Summer went missing.
So it has to be in a database or something somewhere for them to know that right off.
Okay.
Most likely.
So interesting.
And probably they received phone calls, because could you imagine if it goes public that your ex-husband's kid just disappeared when he already sold your kid? You know?
And I remember Mary, Don's sister, she was like screaming from the rooftops, check him out. Like she was very concerned. Yeah.
Exactly. But it's just so weird. I bring it up because it's so weird. We didn't know that law enforcement knew the day of, because we figured they found out about it when Mary told them, Mary and the other sister told them about it. But I guess they had to have known on the day of.
That is so interesting. Wow.
Something else too about we were talking a little bit before. I was about like the day after Summer's disappearance and he was trying to remember exactly what was on the 17th. And you think that dream story, right? You heard about that on the 17th? Like,
No, that was on the 16th. That was on.
oh, I'm sorry, 16th. Yeah, we're on the 16th. I keep saying.
Yeah, 16th.
Okay.
Yep.
16th.
Okay, yeah, let's go back to the 16th then,
Yeah.
Fred, and tell us everything about driving around with these cops and what they were talking about,
please.
even amongst each other and stuff like that.
Well, they just trying to, at that point, they were just trying to figure out locations and stuff and search every location that was off of Ben Hill, while the other main searchers, like the fire department, rescue squad, all that was actually searching mainly Ben Hill. They was wanting to hurry and expand outward and trying to find abandoned houses, stuff like that, and wells, septics, anything that she could been put or anything at that point.
And you witnessed, Stephen, earlier, something I had never heard before. You would witness them, like while you were in the car with them, like the searchers would contact them and be like, "Oh, we're finding drugs in this house or that house," and
yeah, they was getting the
searchers.
They was getting annoyed with that, because when I was with them trying to take them to different locations and stuff. Where the one I was working with is head drug task force, and he's with the special tactics unit too. Anyway, they was contacting him just every little bit, every house that they was going in seemed like and wanting to take and have them charged or whatever from what they was seeing in the houses and stuff, the paraphernalia and all that. Almost it seemed like every house they went in seemed like.
So real,
and they're like, we're not here for that right now. We're here trying to find Summer, and that's all.
Yeah,
they were getting annoyed with all of the other stuff that they was trying to do, and when they were just there trying to
all
find
the police
Summer,
trying to, press charges for
they
drugs
was wanting to
found
arrest
and
them
stuff, in
everybody.
people's houses that they were searching and paraphernalia, and they were actually, saying, no, actually, we're not going to be doing that. We're focusing on Summer. So that was a new one I heard. And also, the dream story too. Oh, sorry, keep going.
I mean, we went and searched a lot of Simpson Loop that day. From when you turn out Ben Hill and you turn left, the first driveway on the right, I showed them where a couple wells was on that property. And then we went on around Simpson Loop, and I showed them where a couple houses was that appeared nobody lived in, but I done already knew that people had been hiding out from law enforcement and all that around in some of them houses and stuff, because the power and stuff was still on them houses, but nobody actually had resident there. I mean, actual living there. It's just people that was running from law and stuff like that, hiding out. So we went around through there, and they kicked a couple doors in and went in and searched a couple places and searched the well, or looked at the wells and stuff on the same pieces of property and stuff. And then I was trying to think if that was the day I was trying to think if I showed them the Field Road property on the first day or second day. Seemed like
if you showed them what property?
You showed them what property?
Fields Road property of Andy's parents.
Of Andy's parents?
Well, one of their properties on Fields Road. They have a property on Fields Road,
which is stayed across from the command center where they'd set the command center up.
Nobody's living there now, but it was a property, right? There's nobody was living there at the time, really.
Because I mean, it kind of come up when Andy was talking about on the first day he was recording. He said something about they had went to the Fields Road property and stuff that day on 15th.
Oh, Andy claimed that he had went on the Fields Road property on the 15th?
Yes. And it was
that after he got caught lying to the police that he was even there at all?
He allowed that he went down there after he had got home and stuff. So I don't know.
Oh,
But
okay.
that was weird to you because
But that's why they was like, well, where's this property at? He's supposed to own, because we didn't know nothing about it until then. It seemed like they was talking about on the second day too about Andy and them refusing the search of the 125 property at that time.
That's so weird.
The day before. Seemed like they was mentioning it that day.
Oh, so Andy Bernard not only lied to the police and got caught about being present at the time Summer Wells disappeared, but he also refused to let the police search his property, even though all these other neighbors with massive drugs, they were letting the police come search. But Andy Bernard would not let the police search his property.
Well, I think it was Jody that refused the search of it, because
how
she said it on her. When I was recording them that day, she tried to say that she didn't want him to go in the house and stuff because he had guns and stuff in there, and he was a felon, and she was trying to keep him from getting in trouble. So I don't know. That's just what she had told on the recording. As reason she denied the search, supposedly.
But she'll come on here and say she didn't deny the search, you know?
Yeah.
So,
but the police were letting people know they weren't there for drugs and other things. They weren't looking in drawers. They were looking for a child.
Yeah.
And these people, Andy Bernard, lied to
When
police
they went
until
in
it was proven on video that he really was there at the time Summer disappeared. This is the bottom line here.
My place, you know.
Yeah.
And seen everything I had.
Oh, yeah, and that's how it is in California too. It's like if there's a bigger deal going on, the cops will come. They don't care about anything.
Yeah.
No,
we're not here about drugs. We're not here about this.
time.
We're not here about that. And who would not let them come in except for someone right across the road who was complicit? Okay, go ahead, Fred. Sorry.
Hold on. Before he says anything else, can we also say that after Summer's vanishing or disappearance, everything dissolved? The whole family split. Jody, Andy.
Oh, yeah.
It all broke.
Yeah.
Why?
And in my criminal justice studies with my criminal justice bachelor's degree, guess what murderers do quite frequently? They freak out and they change their whole schedule. That's one of the ways police are on to them. But what happened here? Andy moved. 2 or 3 days later, he quits his job. He leaves Jody Sue. He goes off to work for a carnival, for a train.
Yeah.
And see, they didn't contain their dogs or nothing either up at 125. They was letting them get into it with the search dogs and all kinds of stuff.
What? Are you serious?
Oh, and Jody Sue, since you're here, can you tell us the exact name of the place where your ex-husband Voldemort
supposedly had went on the 15th.
What do you mean that Andy had supposedly went there on the 15th? Could you explain
where
that?
he had stated on recording that he had been there, went down there on the 15th when I was recording and stuff. Said he had went to the Fields Road property and he was surprised that the gate and stuff was up and didn't have no entrance into it and all that.
Hey, can I play this real quick?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Girls over there to be sedated and to be touched.
Hold on, let's
at 110. Y'all go over there and ask why exactly it is he's selling drugs to the children at 110.
There it is.
That's Jody Sue.
That's
just for people who don't know, the lady who was just on here being obnoxious and trying to not answer questions. That's her.
He
gets drunk.
Essentially causing little girls over there to be sedated and to be touched with the shit he was selling over there. Go ask.
Okay, can you play that one more time? Just
one
more
time, please.
Okay.
At 110.
It's playing. Hold on. She pauses.
He was potentially causing little girls over there to be sedated and to be touched with the shit he was selling over there. Go ask.
Rewind it to the part before that where she said this part.
Well, that's good.
This is crazy.
Y'all look over there and ask why exactly it is he was selling drugs to the children at 110.
Mhm.
Okay, and let's give some context. Ziggy, from what I remember, that was shortly after Andy started his career on YouTube, and he was chiming in and telling his side of the story, and she was getting pissed because she would hear about him being live. Am I
Well-
remembering that correctly, Ziggy?
Well, here it says, okay, this was in August of 2022 over on let's see, Truth, Lies, and Alibis. I'll send it to you. But
Okay.
it says in the comments or underneath the video, it says I know this video is old, but wanted to just get it public opinion about the alleged allegations. So it was even older than that at that time, because August 2022 is when this channel posted it, and it's saying in the description that it's old. So she
Right.
was saying this super early on. She absolutely said that. I don't know why she's going to come on here and say she
I don't
didn't.
either. It's so
No,
weird.
No,
Yeah,
anytime I've even clicked on her for a minute, that she's rambling about that exact thing.
Search.
So the only one them refusing to cooperate is the wife of the one who lied to the police about being there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that'd be right there. Good information for a criminal trial.
Because at first I figured that may have been why George Bernard was at Ben Hill. Maybe they had to get him to get permission from him because she denied permission. That was my thought at first about George.
But
Maybe
they could have done that over the phone.
Yeah.
They didn't need him to be there. And when you went up and saw George Bernard, was he questioning you to see what you saw?
George Bernard, was he questioning you to see what you
No.
saw?
No, because I just come back from Kingsport and pulled up on Ben Hill Road when he come and talked to me. He just said a few words to me. He just
And it was Andy Bernard's father standing at the entrance to Ben Hill Road.
Yes, he didn't question me about nothing. He just come up and said that he thought he was my child at first that had went missing.
Interesting.
And I hadn't seen him there in like over 20 years probably. Well, since
He probably just wanted to see your reaction to if you would say anything.
That's a long.
Because when I pulled up to Ben Hill Road, I was having to sit out on Ben Hill. I mean, out on Beach Creek Road, and I had to wait on to open up the road so I could pull onto it.
Yeah. So then on the third day, on the 17th, is that when you went and recorded the wells for the second time?
Well, I recorded Jody and Andy and Dawn some on the 15th, and then the 16th, Jody and Andy and their daughter.
Oh, what about the dream thing?
See, that's when the daughter brought up to Jody on the 16th. Was he took and asked Jody? She come down the hill and walked up to Jody, and she said that Andy had told her about seeing Summer's dead body.
I remember this.
And this was on your recording?
Was on the 17th.
Was this on the
Okay,
not the 17th, but the 16th.
Okay, so on the 16th, you recorded Jody Sue saying that Andy claimed he had seen Summer's dead body?
Well, the doctor took and walked down there and told Jody that Andy told her that he had seen Summer's dead body. And then that's when, because Andy wasn't standing there at the second, he was over across the road on the other side where the trash can and their car was parked from where we was standing at where I was recording. And she had hollered over there and told him to come over, and she said, "When did you see Summer's dead body?" And he said, "Oh, that was just a effing dream that I had." That's when he told her that.
So you were standing out there.
Then Jody asked him, he said, "Well, when did you see Summer last," or something like that? And he's like, "Well, I seen her on the 14th night when I was over there, but I didn't see her when I was over there on earlier on the 15th.
Andy claimed he didn't see her on the 15th.
Okay. And you know what, guys? I'm thinking of something as you're saying this. Remember the interview with Chris McDonough? He interviews Hunter. Hunter says that he saw Candace's phone on the day of the 15th, and it said something like it was, so the sender was from Andy. He remembers the name being Andy. And the message said something like, "It's done." Do you guys remember this?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. There's another kind of.
You remember that, Fred?
Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah.
A lot of circumstantial evidence.
It's very interesting. No doubt.
So all these different pieces
And he
too.
referred
All
to
these different pieces
that
of
the
information
drug
coming
dealer
from different people.
as well.
So Fred, if I could understand you correctly, you're saying you were recording them and you were standing next to Jody and Don Wells, and Jody's daughter came up and said, "Dad said he saw Summer Wells' dead body."
Well, Don wasn't there when I was recording that time.
Okay, who was there? Were you just standing there with Jody
It
Sue?
was just Jody and her daughter standing there, and Andy standing there when I was recording in. But Andy had stepped away when the daughter come down the hill and walked up to Jody and was telling her that.
So the daughter, so Jody's daughter came up the day of or the day after?
The day after Summer went missing.
The day after Summer went missing, Fred was recording Jody Sue, the henchwoman who just came on here. Fred was recording Jody Sue, and Jody Sue's daughter came walking up and said, "Dad said he saw Summer Wells' dead body." So now we have Jody Sue claiming Andy had something to do with it. Jody Sue's daughter brings him in. It just goes on and on.
Hunter says Andy's name about the text. It's done, like Lauren just mentioned, and
Hunter says that, and the police caught Andy in a lie. Okay.
Yeah, he tried to act like he couldn't remember what he was driving that day, and also if he was even on that road. It was crazy.
Yeah.
A day later, he couldn't remember what he was driving for the
same
police.
day.
Until they showed him a video of himself up in the hollow.
Same day.
With an unknown
Same
vehicle.
day.
Yeah,
Okay.
they was laughing
Okay,
about
Ryan,
that.
you just keep promoting that guy as the arbiter of truth. You just keep it up. So maybe he'll give you some money or something.
Wow.
Well, see, she's worried because of somebody else, I believe. It's probably her son that Andy dragged in somehow. And that's just my opinion. I don't know that for a fact, but that would give her extra reasoning to want to protect, keep the truth from coming out.
To divert people's attention, just keep going on YouTube and stirring stuff up, Jody, and diverting people's attention. You're a waste of space and a waste of air, a waste of time.
Yeah, I don't understand. So many people involved in this case are suddenly on YouTube. It's, actually involved there in the setting of the whole thing, and they are talking all the time on YouTube. That's nuts to me. Feels like they haven't been investigated.
Hey Jody, why did your son take a protective order out on Andy a month after Summer went missing? I want to know that. The son took a protective order on Andy Bernard, on his own dad, like a month or two after Summer went missing.
In August, wasn't it?
You could probably pull up that file and get a copy and see why. But hey, I have a question, Fred. Okay, so after Jody Sue's daughter comes over to you guys and says the Andy Bernard, the dad, is claiming that he saw Summer Wells' dead body, what happens then? How does Jody react to that?
Well, she just asked him. She kind of looked at him, hollered at Andy, and asked him to come over. And when he come over, she asked him about what the daughter said, about him seeing Summer's dead body, and he's like, "Oh, that was just a effing dream I had," And then she's like, "Well, when did you see her last?" And he's like, "Well, I seen her last on the 14th when I was over there, 14th night when I was over there." But he said, "I didn't see her earlier today when I was over there on the 15th."
Wow.
Or earlier on the 15th when I was over there.
Yeah.
That's what he tried to say, but he tried to play it off to her like it was a dream, you know. But
yeah. And then he went in and started packing so he could flee, right?
Yeah.
And
But Jody did act surprised, you know, when her daughter said that to her.
Yeah.
Like, then I was watching somebody last night of Andy stating that, oh, it had to be his daughter had to hear him and Jody talking about something or arguing because he hadn't said nothing to her first, but it wasn't like that by the recording and stuff. I mean,
You were there when he
I
first
was
was
there when she first said something to Jody about Andy is supposedly saying that he had seen Summer's dead body.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, I can remember Ziggy, who was that chick on YouTube that used to make the videos about Jody Sue? And there was one particular clip I remember hearing, can't remember this girl's name now, but it was Jody Sue telling that story that Andy had said he had seen Summer's dead body.
Was it Squall?
I don't remember. She became
did.
close with John. Remember that John guy? I think they became a duo.
Oh,
You know
John Q and Q Carlock.
it wasn't Q Carlock. It was this other.
Oh,
I just can't remember her name to
Oh,
save
well.
my life. But yeah, she had showed in her video that clip of Jody Sue actually talking about Andy's quote dream that he had seen Summer's dead body. And she even had her daughter tell the story, if I'm remembering correctly. Somebody get me that clip if you know where it is and put it in the chat. If anybody knows where that clip is, because it's out there. It's in circulation, guys. This is an
and if anybody else has saved a montage of clips where Jody blames Andy for all this, go ahead and send them. And if you know if she's ever mentioned exactly where Andy went to work as a train conductor at like some little carnival type thing, let us know.
Crazy. That is crazy to me.
Because we'd like to look in all the ravines around there. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a
for the
weird
record,
thing.
I think that any of these people deserve the death penalty. All of them. Anyone involved in this, I believe, deserves the death penalty.
It was Penny. Guys, it was Penny. I'm remembering that.
Oh, yeah, Penny.
I don't remember her whole name on YouTube, but yes, it was Penny. And I remember
She used to go by Penny, but she changed to Fizzle. Yeah.
Okay, that's right. Yes. And Benny became close to her for a period of time.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember. Yes, it was Jody's daughter who told the story. And Jody had her daughter tell the story on YouTube. So there were a number of us that heard it. So Fred is telling the truth, if anybody's doubting.
Oh, Fred is absolutely telling the truth. And he was working with the police and helping record these people who wouldn't let their property be searched, who fled 2 days later, and who lied about being there at the exact time when Summer disappeared.
You've just seen the message, like the little messages, innuendos that, like when Jody Sue found out that she was recorded by Fred, because they didn't find out until, a guy on YouTube, like, I don't know, they didn't find out till a couple years after. And she was sending little messages to Andy she's like, do you remember what we were like? She was like freaking out when, I wish we need to find that video too, when she was kind of trying to send him little messages.
Like saying Jody Sue.
What was that?
Ziggy, you're saying Jody Sue was commiserating with Fred about something?
No, she would go live and send Andy like when she cryptic messages and whatever.
I didn't know
when she had found out, right after she had found out about Fred recording for the police and stuff, she went live and she was like talking to Andy but live, basically, like basically, yeah,
okay,
yeah, and basically basically like, oh my God, do you remember what we were talking about during that time? Oh, there's the one. Oh, there's the guy that was snorting the drugs on our last live.
Oh, Donna, did you hear about that? People were accusing you or somebody else of sniffing drugs because they heard your dogs breathing.
Oh, the heavy breathing.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah, I knew that because Donna's told us several times about her dogs, snoring, and you could hear them in the background.
Yeah.
So
Bulldogs snore. They
They
definitely
sure
make noise.
do. Yeah,
And
they're
he's
so
been sitting here on this chair next to me the whole time. And then this one's sitting here too.
Yeah. Wow, that is just fascinating.
he just walked away for a second, but
Okay.
Fred
That
just
is
didn't
so-
have a cigarette. But
Yeah,
Aw.
Ziggy, that is so interesting. Look at how cute. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. Me out. This is information I haven't thought of or thought about in a really long time, Ziggy and Donna.
It's
I'm glad-
infuriating if you really think about that. This is a child.
I
This is a
know.
little girl who went missing, and
Yeah.
these babbling drunks
Yeah.
sit on here.
Right.
Jody Sue at any time could help. She could just say, "Oh yeah, Andy went X, Y, and Z," and then we could maybe look around there for the other features.
I know.
You know,
she would lie saying things like they had cameras, the day of, and they didn't have cameras or anything. Fred was there when they put up their first camera after, the day of Summer missing.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I don't know.
so
Um,
once somebody lies to the police and says, "No, I wasn't there," but then the police show them a video that they were there, from then on, nothing they say has any weight.
That's why I
There's
wanted
not
her to
a word
answer.
that comes out of Andy Bernard's mouth that has any weight at all, and ditto for Jody Sue.
That's
Ditto.
why I wanted
And
to
she
ask
just
her straight up.
She's unable
when she
to
was
have a
up here.
conversation or help.
I've never
She
had a
just
chance to
wants to figure
ask
out
her. I never had a chance to ask her about that, about why she said that, and I wanted to ask her that while she was up here to get her lie straight to us, so I could play that. That's why I was doing that, because I want to be like, why did you say that?
But you know what? You can do that on your own channel too. She could come on your channel and you guys could have it out.
No.
But I
Yeah.
can't sit here while I know that this.
No,
I'm not.
I
Anyways.
won't have her on my. She wouldn't.
Okay,
come
so
on my
we're
channel.
on day 2, and then
Yep.
anything else happen on day 2, Fred?
Well,
He walked away. That's
for-
why I was talking.
How do you go out for smoke?
Yeah, he's having
Yeah,
a
he's right
smoke.
here now. He's here now.
We'll just do an intermission if need be.
Oh, he's back
He's here.
now.
He's here.
Is it back? Okay.
Okay, so is there anything else you can remember to tell us about day 2, Fred, the day after Summer went missing?
Let's see, I was trying to think.
We talked about the dream. Her and that.
Okay, hold on. Can I say something? Somebody is saying in the chat she is hiding SD cards. Has there ever been any info to suggest that? Because I know, Donna, you picked up on that, that there were cameras that were used, that there were things being hidden about Dawn. Remember?
Yeah, that then what I was seeing in my reading did not involve Jody Sue,
Yeah.
and nothing in any of my readings involves Jody Sue.
Right.
But yeah, I saw that Dawn was engaged in the photography business, shall we say, prior to this disappearance. I saw that Mom was peddling the child around the neighborhood prior to this disappearance. And I'm sure that I would assume Jody Sue knew about that, since she constantly tells us she knew about that, and which makes her complicit in all this. And let's see. Yeah, what I was getting was that Candace had things that would implicate Dawn in these kind of activities that she kept on a USB. And there's like a loose brick in the wall at their house, loose of those cinder blocks, and where Candace would keep it behind there. So she always had something on Dawn, always.
That's really interesting.
But yeah, Fred did have some, he had some go missing when he went in jail. All his stuff was stolen, including the SD cards, that would have, everything was stolen off his. But Jody Sue claimed to have a bunch of SD cards stolen too, or something, but she didn't even have,
David was one to put the camera up on the 15th. She had Damien to put it up on the big pine right hand side of the driveway, the first big pine on the right hand side of the driveway on the 15th. That's the only time I got him on recording anything, was just him asking Jody where to put the camera up, and he disappeared after he put the camera up. He didn't stay around or nothing. he didn't hang out at the bottom of the hill or nothing like the rest of them did.
That is
It's
so
like he
odd.
stayed away.
That is so odd.
I just text you that somebody wanted. It's just that if you want to play it or check it out later.
Yeah. Let me
About
play it.
Summer's body, or I guess it's about Andy's daughter. I don't know.
Okay.
Somebody said
Yeah.
told us to play it. I don't know what. I haven't heard it, but
Let me grab it.
let's see. I'm trying to think. Did you go? Yeah, you guys drove around.
If there's nothing else from that day, then we can.
The 16th is when the evening of the 16th is when they sent TBI in to interview everybody and stuff.
Where did they do that at? Like right in your driveways or what?
Yeah, they just went to everybody's house and separated everybody. I mean, like when they come to my house, they pulled Laura away from me and they kept her inside and took me outside and took my statement, took her statement.
What kind of questions did they ask you?
Oh, I don't even remember that now.
You don't remember anything? What?
No.
Was it a long interview or?
No, it just more or less what was seen than anything.
So this is the 16th or the 17th that TBI comes in?
The 16th.
Then, so the day after Summer goes missing, TBI shows up. So they knew something was up.
She said the day after TBI shows up.
Yeah.
And they were wanting to keep TBI out, weren't they?
Yeah, that's one reason they wanted me to record and stuff. Hawkins County did was try to keep the TBI from getting involved because for some reason they didn't want the TBI involved in the case from day one.
Okay, so Hawkins County, led by Sheriff Ronnie Lawson, did not want TBI investigating their case. Is that what you're saying?
Well, Ronnie wasn't one that said it to me. It was Nate Simpson and Gary Lawson.
Jerry Lawson. So Ronnie Lawson has one of his relatives being a sheriff there too.
Yeah.
Gary Lawson is like a. I'm trying to think. Who is he to Ronnie? A nephew or something?
And are those the guys that had you bring alcohol up to the house?
That's
up to the wells? Is those two cops you're mentioning?
Yes.
Are they the ones that had you bring alcohol up to the house?
Yes.
And they didn't want TBI involved, they said?
Yeah.
Did they say why?
They didn't say why.
Because Don Wells
they just let on like Hawkins County and TBI didn't get along for something, the way they played it.
Oh, I bet. I bet.
Mm-hmm.
They said that they didn't get along that good, so they was trying to keep TBI out of it. So whatever that was supposed to mean.
Yeah, it kind of sucks when you have people among you that are part of these networks and you really got to keep TBI out.
So that tells me that it probably should be who you should contact is TBI for sure.
But they just send everything back to Pruitt.
I know, but
that's what's weird.
Right. And Pruitt sucks. He does.
I have zero confidence in Pruitt.
Yeah. Same here.
Zero.
Fred didn't work with him at all.
I never worked with Pruitt none on Summer's case. The only time I ever talked to Pruitt was when he came and got me to take me for the polygraph on Cotton. Was the only time I ever even talked to Pruitt, period.
Oh, so they wanted to give you a polygraph to see if you were the one who pushed Don Cotton off what's his name? Roy Cotton off the cliff?
Right, yeah.
Because I know I had said something about a gash or something in the back of his head, but I only know that through other people.
But they also were asking questions.
So you came into his awareness because he heard you were talking about Roy Cotton and he wanted to do a lie detector. And did you go in there and do it? Did you go do the lie detector, Fred?
Well, yeah, he did.
I done the lie detector. It was like, I don't know, about 4 days after I talked to him about Cotton.
He had gone to law enforcement about Cotton Simpson about some things when he was in jail, and then they gave him a lie detector after that to make sure the information he was telling was truthful, I guess.
That's what I'm assuming.
And they also asked about if one of the questions of the lie detector, they asked Fred if he thought that Cotton had something to do with Summer's disappearance. One of the questions.
And what did you say, Fred?
I told him No, because I didn't think he had direct involvement, but he knew something, you know.
Yeah. I don't know if he does either. I don't know one way or another. I just know a lot of people have ended up dead.
He just talked about being at the Wellses and stuff on the 15th, whether he was or not. He said he was, you know.
Roy Cotton said he was also over there at the Wells on the 15th.
Yeah, he said he was at the Wellses on the 15th before Summer went missing, but whether it's true, I don't know. But that's what he told me. Said he was
And
at the Wellses.
Roy Cotton said that before he did. What? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
He was talking about he had been there earlier on the 15th before Summer had went missing and stuff. He was talking about sleeping with mother and daughter, but he didn't say who it was, you know. He just said mother and daughter.
Yeah.
Holy.
That's why we're like Grandis and Candace, or
I don't think too many people will be paid to be with Grandis.
Oh my goodness.
But I mean, whether it's true, I don't know. I mean, that's just what he told me. And then he talked about when they'd find Summer and stuff, they'd know exactly who done it and all that.
But
Roy said that? Roy Cotton said that before he died, that when they find her, they'll know who did it?
Yeah. But he allowed that he done talked to law enforcement, tried to talk to Hawkins County about it, and they didn't want to hear nothing he had to say.
because
Of course not.
Well, because he's considered mentally incapable or whatever.
Incompetent.
Yeah, he had a guardian and everything who he could chat that took care of his financials.
So he's a little slow. He was a little slow.
Or not slow. I think he had brain damage or something.
He had a lot of brain surgeries and stuff.
And got drugs.
Do you think?
Or brain surgeries from states and stuff.
Do you think that he could dig a hole in the ground that was like a foot deep? Do you think he's
Who, Cotton?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's capable of doing that. Yeah.
Okay. So just for people that don't know, we don't need to say that people
probably in a cave. And then when he talked, he kind of talked like she was probably in a cave. He didn't say she was, and then when he talked about she possibility was kind of in a cave, then when they found him and stuff, see, he was next to a cave and stuff at Laura Run, and he'd been talking about two different caves over there. He just jumped around and talking, and you just kind of had to put things together a little bit.
Uh-huh. And so we don't need to say the people's names, but the locals around there believe a particular woman was with Roy Cotton and pushed him off the cliff. And that particular woman is going out with another person, last name Bernard, that has a stammer. That's just a side note, and I'll leave it at that.
That's so interesting.
Well, I just know that they suspect her of his death. They didn't say how or what, but they suspect her.
Yeah, and she's dating a Bernard.
Yeah. To me about that, I seen him like at, I don't know, it was probably 6:30 or 6:45 or so that day.
This Eastman.
That's the only thing that confuses me about that.
Wait,
you know?
Oh, you saw the Bernard on 6:45 the day Summer was missing?
Yeah, between 6:30 and 6:45, somewhere around about.
When you stopped to do a drug drop, you stopped to do a drug drop, and two people who normally would have been there, one is the hunchback Doug Gott, and he was missing that day, and so was another guy, and those guys are both dead as well.
Yes.
And I saw the hunchback
they was actually living
barn where the handoff took place. Are you guys putting this 2 and 2 together now?
Yep.
It's like a jigsaw puzzle. Clink, 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 clink.
It is. The Eastman connection is a big one to me personally. Now, I know it employs a lot of people around there. That's not lost on me. But you specifically stated these. What were they? They were notable things about the Eastman building, Donna. Is that how you found it?
What I said is they're showing me a giant jacks. So in the 60s and 70s, a game we played was you drop a super ball or a bounce ball, and then you see how many jacks you could pick up or something. I don't remember how you play it, but it looked like that to me. And when the listeners hunted it down, it turns out it's molecules. It's like a hand holding molecules. And that's the statue in front of the executive part of Eastman. And then, like, if you're across the river looking at Eastman, you're looking at that executive part. Then off to the left, if you're across from it, is the loading docks. Right. And also George Bernard worked there. I don't know if he's retired from there or not as well. But so did this particular Bernard that we're talking about with the stammer.
Yeah.
And I've seen pictures that people's posted on Facebook of Summer being inside that park.
Oh, interesting.
At the Eastman Recreational Park.
So
Which
she
is interesting.
pre-planted.
Because you have to be.
They've been up there
Most time
and
has to be family of people that works at the Eastman to get into that park usually, because you usually have to book it to be able to get in there.
Huh.
and there's a gazebo at the water up there. There's a gazebo that where the water's so clear it looks like a mirror image. And I was talking about
that's
something.
the Maze Mountain Park on top. That is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Instead of the recreational, Eastman Recreational. See, the parks lay right side, but Base Mountain Park is on the left-hand side and the recreation place is on the right-hand side, and they've got it divided, two different entrances.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't connect it as far as roads or nothing like that.
This is trippy, man.
I mean,
So
in
trippy.
between them, you know.
Yeah. Wow.
I know, it's so stunning. It's like my brain went numb.
Donna, I feel like I'm listening to the Lori Vallow stuff all over again. It's so specific, the things you were picking up, and he's validating right now.
It's so outrageous, and that just really threw me off about whatever her name is, Junkie Sue or whatever, Chunky Sue or something like that. Not talking about how much money you have. You could be the poorest person in the world. Yeah. You could live in a tent in the woods, and you could have a good heart.
Right.
When you have an evil heart like hers, nah, garbage. Total, complete garbage.
Hey, that reminds me. Ziggy sent me a clip. We're going to listen to it right now. Just
okay.
1 second. Oh, which one?
I didn't check it out first, so hopefully it's
okay. Well, either way, I'm sure it'll be interesting.
It's like Jody Sue sneaks them in.
Here we go. Can everybody see it?
Yeah. And then he went back onto the Summers dead body thing. And where's detail? And
hold on, pause. This, what you guys are hearing is Jody Sue's daughter tell the story about Andy, what Andy said. Okay. Let's go back to it. Let me pull it back just a hair. I don't know how long it is. I hope. Is it?
Yeah. And then he went back onto the Summers dead body thing. And where's detail? And then yeah. And then he went back onto the Summers dead body thing.
Okay, it's looping. I wish we had.
Well, here, I'll send you the. She just sent me the whole thing.
Oh, please, yeah, get it.
Yeah, she sent it to me, and she said it starts at it starts at 39 timestamp 39 for the
39. Okay, I'm gonna grab it, and then guys, I'm gonna play that real quick. It seems
I didn't know how much was on that one. Sorry.
No, that's good. It's no problem. All right.
Well, I mean, it validates that she was saying that something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean,
now she's recanting everything. It's so freaking weird. Okay, here we go. Oh, hold on. It's playing an ad. Let me show you guys. We will not forget. Okay.
My mental load makes it worth every penny. I wasn't fully convinced the Skylight calendar would.
Well, do you know the connection?
Okay, you said 39, yeah? 39?
Yeah, 39.
Okay, 39. We'll start at 38, 35.
Me, understood. I knew what was happening. Yeah, I'm wrong. He's gonna sit in his truth.
You know what? Let me slow it down just a hair because it's hard to understand for me a little bit. Hold on. It seems like it was sped up. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I don't want her to do anything that is uncomfortable for her. Just make sure. Okay. Alright, what was it? I was doing. That day. Do not say his name or anything like that. That day he was, whatever, doing his usual roundabout, screaming at people. But that day, I went down to the cabin. I sat outside the cabin while he was, on his escapade about, whatever it was. Then I got into the cabin after he screamed at me about being near the cabin. And then he comes back a few minutes later after storming off. And then he comes down, says something he said to Book. Which is her brother. Yeah. And then he started screaming again, and then he was like, I already know Summer's dead body is. I know Summer's dead somewhere in a ditch, I know Candace did it. I know Dawn did it, whatever. And, he was just screaming about that. And then he was like, after that, it was like, I'm so tired of, he mispronounced Equa Search, and he said Aqua Search. He screamed, I'm so tired of Aqua Search, holding me back to all these police officers and stuff, and he was on about that, and he was screaming it, and yeah, and then he went back onto the Summers dead body thing, in worse detail. And then, I was asking him to stop. You were asking him to stop. Boogie was. Boogie wasn't. He was outside the cabin. And then he joined into the chorus. He stood up, trying to leave. Just leave. Get out. Stop. More crying. Yeah. And then I slammed the door on him to the cabin. And then he stormed off. And then I guess Book told him to shut up or something outside, and then he left to go be a reckless hazard on the road. Well, thank you so much for being strong and brave and telling.
So is that girl, Jody Sue's daughter, is she talking about Dawn Wells or Andy Bernard?
Talking about Andy.
So Andy was in depth saying he knew Summer was dead and stuff like that.
That's what he said, yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's according to a Bernard family member.
That's
Andy's daughter.
His daughter, yeah.
And then his son gets a restraining order against him. They had to have believed he was involved.
It's crazy. And him taking off, I think, is really bizarre. Truly. For
I don't think he ever went back to work for that place ever again for Hayworth. That's what I don't think people realize is I don't think he ever went back there. Like, I think the last day he worked there was the day Summer went missing, which that should be a big red flag.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why was that the last day? Was that always a plan for that to be the last day? Or did he have this train ride thing planned, this train thing planned already? Or was that for the moment thing?
I wish we could narrow down more about this train or carnival, whatever it is. Do you guys
see if Jody Sue actually cared about Summer, that was her chance to prove it. So anybody who watches the rambling musings of a drunk sitting in a trailer somewhere, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of breath. She's made 100 different stories. And most of them include her ex-husband being guilty.
Yeah, I don't know how she keeps track of all of it, honestly.
I don't think she does. I think she does it for cigarette money.
Yeah.
Like, you know, she can get people to donate 30 or 40 bucks. She can go buy some alcohol and cigarettes or a pill or whatever.
Yeah, it's so weird how people donate to these crazy people. You know what I mean?
Willie, I was going to say something.
Yeah,
what were you going to say, Fred?
But that's just like the scream, you know. When I was recording, she talked about the scream and stuff, but she was talking about knowing Summer is gone at 3:20. She specifically said that she knows Summer is gone at 3:20. And then she went on rambling on while I was recording, and then wanted to say that she heard a scream roughly 5:30. And that's one reason that the law enforcement ruled that as unfounded, because they're like, she can't done know that she's already gone and then hear a scream
a couple hours later. Yeah.
And so Andy probably told Jody Sue to say that to throw them off. In case they figured out he was really actually there.
She didn't come out and say that publicly until it was on the news, but it was already recorded the first couple of days of Summer going missing.
Okay. So you heard it from the beginning, Fred, is that right? About the scream, but then only later she comes
I
out
recorded her talking about it for law enforcement. That's why they already knew that it was most likely bullcrap. The way she said it was talking about Summer already knowing that Summer is already gone at 3:20 was what she stated, and then didn't hear the scream until like 5:30 roughly.
How would she know that? Police weren't even called till 6:30.
Yeah, I want to bring up another little factoid real quick. It could be filed as speculation, but just hear me out. So remember the lady Critical K? She used to make YouTube videos. She one time interviewed a lady who had close ties to Grandma Candace at one point. And Grandma Candace had told her that Summer had drank it was like an orange drink that day that she was in the car. So when you see her passed out in the car, it was believed, according to Grandma Candace, that she had drank something that had made her sleepy. And Donna, the reason I'm bringing this up is because you specifically stated you believe she was drugged for transfer.
That's what I saw. She was passed out. She was unconscious. She was bound and gagged. Her legs and arms were bound. Her mouth was gagged. She was put unconscious into a trunk. Yeah, that's what this neighborhood did to her. And that is when these people make a joke out of this, when Jody sits there for years on end, or Candace or Dawn, they don't care. That's the hardest part of all of this. These people do not care about this child at all. She literally had no chance. And if you heard my readings about Tylee, this is 100 times worse. It is literally much worse. It's worse.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, I've thought of before going over, because there's these morons acting like Donna's some charlatan, and nothing pisses me off worse than calling Donna a charlatan. She is absolutely the real deal. There is no doubt in my mind, and I've witnessed her ability. So I've thought of going over some of her old readings and cases that have been brought to justice that have actually gone to trial, so you can hear the comparison between what Donna said and what came out in the courtroom. Well, plus, let's not underestimate the stories Jody Sue has told about Andy and how violent he's capable of being. Right?
Oh yeah, didn't she say he dragged her out of the house, beat her up? She shows all these pictures.
Naked.
He's punched her in the breast. Okay.
Right.
He's punched her in the breast. He's pointed guns in her face. She's got these big black eyes. Do you know if I lived out in the woods and some guy did that to me?
He'd be gone. He'd be gone. Yeah. I know.
Yeah. He would be lucky if he was in prison.
Oh yeah. It'd be the last.
It would be his last.
He'd be
time.
6 feet under.
It would be his last time he did that.
Absolutely.
Trust me on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just like on fire, pissed off.
I know you are, Donna. I don't blame
people.
you. I don't blame you. this is personal to you at this rate. It is.
Well,
Now
yeah,
I'm gonna have
when I see little children murdered, yeah, it's real personal at that point.
Yeah.
It's real
Yeah.
personal. This is no joke to me. This is not a joke. This isn't entertainment. We're trying to get information out there in a rational way because another YouTuber, Ryan's Finds Truth, has been sitting there with a guy who lied to the police about being there when Summer was missing and trying to convince everybody not to listen to these two.
Wow, it's horrible.
They're the first
really.
people you should listen to. Fred, from day one, was working with the police to show them everywhere, to help record the Wells and the Bernards.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. That's extremely important.
I'm furious. I'm not taking any prisoners here. I'm not trying to make new friends.
That gold couch come up.
Completely.
You know?
Yeah.
The gold couch. Fred was saying the gold
Oh,
couch.
and by the way,
bothers
so everything I've said about Jody's Junkie Sue Bernard is from her own mouth.
Yeah.
And talk about making light of a child being disappeared.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That's you, Jody Sue. That's you sitting there for 2 years straight, getting drunk, chain smoking cigarettes, blaming your ex-husband for being involved, and then attacking everyone who looks into it. That's what you've done.
Right.
And you should go down to the police station and turn yourself in now.
Yeah. There's definitely more to this story is how I look at it. And it's being suppressed big time.
Yeah, it's called controlled opposition.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So let's go back to the 17th. Did we get to the second day?
Oh, yeah. You know what? Hold on. Ziggy, wasn't Fred saying something about a gold? What were you about to say? Gold couch or?
Yeah.
Oh, in my reading, there's a gold overstuffed couch. I don't know that made it onto the internet or not.
Okay. Well,
yeah, they were trying to give so when Summer woke up, she didn't recognize the people where she was at, and she was real scared. And they put her on this gold overstuffed couch, and then they were trying to give her a teddy bear so that like she would to ingratiate her a little, but she was really scared.
And what's strange about that, there's pictures out there of Summer looks like she's naked on a gold couch.
Really?
Yeah. It's like a gold looking chair.
Gold chair, gold couch, or something like that.
Weird. Do you remember where these photos are? I'd never seen them.
No.
I think we sent it to Donna.
Okay.
But it was but I guess it wouldn't be that one if it was a one that she didn't know, because the way Donna's saying it, it sounds like it would be a place she didn't know about. Yeah. But this picture would be.
I mean, it's just odd that it was a ghost, you know.
Yeah, that's really weird.
I was trying to find it.
Oh, it's okay.
You can probably find it quick.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find. Okay.
Well, that's one. 1 minute.
Yeah, just send that to me.
Okay. So then, Fred, you may go back to second day. Donna, specifically, where do you want him to continue?
On the 17th, the police came over again 2 days later, and they asked her to record the Wells a second time or third time.
Yeah, they come over again on the 17th, and that's when they wanted me to take alcohol to the Wellses and stuff.
Which in a way is kind of funny, because when I talked to Don Wells, he told me he believed the police were involved, and I asked why he thought that, and he said because they brought alcohol to Candace.
Yeah,
he said, why would they bring my wife alcohol after her kid's missing or whatever? Like, so he said he believed the police were involved.
Well, they took it to them, thought they would loosen their lips the way they talked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If they got drunk, and then that's why they wanted me to wait 45 minutes. They figured that they would go ahead and just get sloshed, and then I could record, and maybe they'd slip up on some stuff was the way they talk.
Getting some loose lip. Yeah.
So they brought the alcohol, and did you go up and record? Did you wait the 45 minutes and then go up and record?
Yeah, I waited 45 minutes and went to record. And when I got there, Dawn actually wasn't home. Candace was outside on the phone. And then when I walked up, I asked her about Don, you know, where Don was, if he's home or whatever. And she said that he wasn't there. And then almost immediately I could hear somebody coming, and he pulls up, and then she goes straight in the house. And then me and him's just standing there talking a few minutes. And then that's when the life come over to recorder or whatever. And then I just kind of shut it down at that point. I tried to play it off as it was my phone, because I was kind of pissed and thought it was the law enforcement that had done something and tried to
sabotage.
set me up to let them know that I was recording, because I was kind of got upset over that and kind of pissed off. So I just shut it down and started back off the driveway kind of. And that's when they was coming up the driveway to see what was going on themselves.
Okay. You're being
Did Don say anything that's notable?
He just looked at me real weird when life come over it, but I didn't get nothing out of him beforehand. Really?
So Don Wells is pretty street smart, you guys. He's been in prison more than once, probably. And
I mean, I didn't get to record him just a few minutes before the life come over it, and I just shut it down because I felt like a law was trying to may have set me up or something to let them know that I was recording. And then they're like, they don't know what happened, you know, why it happened like that. They was curious. That's why that they had came to try to see what was going on.
Gotcha. Donna, I have a question for you. We have a super chatter, Dixie in Tennessee mountains. Thank you so much for the donation. She says, what about the willow tree meaning at Donna? Donna, I don't remember a willow tree. Do you?
That's one clue I have not been able to figure out.
Willow tree.
And that's why I want to look around the place where Andy went to work on the train. That is one clue I have not been able to figure out.
Can you give me context in how you saw it? Because I'm kind of drawing a blank on it. I guess it's been a while, 4 years.
I can't remember, but I know what she's talking about. It's just one clue in one of my readings.
Okay.
And I've never been. So if you have Reverend Donna Serafina at gmail.com, if anybody has any ideas about the willow tree.
Yeah.
If I don't remember the context right now, but
okay, that's okay.
If anyone has any clues about it, they can email me.
Great. And sorry to interrupt you, Fred. You can carry on, and you and Donna.
I mean, there's a place named Willowbrook.
Oh, what were you saying, Fred? Okay, so they renamed a street up there in the Ben Hill Hollow, right?
Well, it's on Reservoir Road, actually about next street down from Jody Sue, named Willowbrook.
Oh, the next street down from Jody Sue used to be called Willowbrook?
Yes.
And then what's it called now? They changed the name?
Well, it used to be a different name. It was Willow something, and Weeping Willow or something like that. And then they finally changed it to Willowbrook when they added the rest of them apartments and stuff in there.
So it used to be
Weeping Willow. Where exactly is that? Where exactly is that road?
Where exactly is that?
It's on Reservoir Road.
Reservoir Road?
Yes. It's, I'm trying to think what streets, Reservoir and Willowbrook, what would be Willowbrook Road.
Reservoir and Willowbrook Road?
Yeah, I'm probably
It used to be called Weeping Willow Road.
Donna, didn't you say Whispering Willow also?
Yeah, years ago, it used to be that years ago, and they changed it to Willowbrook now.
Oh, it used to be Whispering Willow?
Whispering Willows.
What?
Yeah, I think that's what I said. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, she did say Whispering Willow. That's what I was saying.
It used to be Whispering Willows.
Oh my gosh, guys, that is directly from Donna's reading. I'm not kidding.
What's
it like there? Is there a lot of foliage and ravines and stuff off this? What's it called now?
Willowbrook? Back into Base Mountain again.
Oh my God.
Going Base Mountain again.
Okay, Ryan finds truth. You want to go find something? Go look up there.
The interstate than the recreational place and stuff is.
I was trying to pull it up on a map to see.
Yeah, that's fascinating to me.
Yeah, because that's like there's almost no clues that we haven't figured out what they are. But that one I didn't figure out. And I forgot Fred did tell me that about a week ago when a couple of weeks ago when I first started talking to him again.
To me, it reminds me of Trapper, Donna, all over again.
Trapper Lane.
Trapper Lane. You kept saying Trapper. Sure enough.
There's like 5 readings in the Lori Vallow case where every time I'd go, and there comes a trapper. He's not a hunter. He's a trapper. He looks like Daniel Boone. And that's kind of shows how things go across or how things are shown as I'm seeing an actual trapper. But the next street from where the children were buried was called Trapper Lane. And no matter how many hours I was willing to spend on Google Maps, I could not find it because the state had renamed it a number, but the locals left the sign up that says Trapper Lane, and one of the locals sent it to me. They said, "Oh, all the locals still call this Trapper Lane."
It's so crazy, man.
Yeah, there's I'm sending it to Lauren, but there's a housing community right there called Willowbrook. I'm looking. I just sent it to Lauren.
Yeah,
I was just checking it out on the map.
Before
Willowbrook community.
Okay.
And it's right there, and that's right near Jody Sue.
It says area under surveillance.
32 is going towards Kingsport.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Fred?
I said that street's next street past Jody Sue's going towards Kingsport on the left.
Oh, okay. Where she's living now, or just like up in the woods or whatever?
Yes, right now.
Wow.
Is there anything significant about that area that you can think about?
I think so.
I'm wondering.
I mean, I just still trying to think of places that she was mentioning, you know, because she mentioned Whispering Willows, and that used to be years ago Whispering Willows before they moved changed it to Willowbrook.
That's crazy.
It is.
Because I do think she did bring up Whispering Willow or something, or Weeping Willow or Whispering Willow.
Yeah.
I remember calling it the Whisper Willows or something.
Yeah.
Something I would have to look in there.
Yeah, you
I
did
was taking my brain trying to think.
So I just want the murderers of Summer to know that I've did for entertainment, pretend I'm on Jerry Springer. No, I'm not. These people murdered a little 5-year-old. Okay.
Right.
They need to be brought to justice.
Absolutely. No, this is not a game. This is dead serious. This is not people's entertainment. We're genuinely trying to find answers to these questions that we've had for years about what happened to Summer Wells. And for some people, it's just entertainment.
Yeah, it is. And when I talked to Fred a couple of weeks ago, and he knew right away what I was talking about. When he knew right away what I was talking about where the barn was and who has the stammer, I knew that Fred is the key. Fred is the key. I get chills on my legs when I even say that. Fred is the key. Absolutely. Let's listen to Fred. Let's listen to everything he has to say and see what gets triggered in that.
Right. Between the two of you guys, this is outstanding information. And instead of people actually giving it the credit it deserves, all they can do is naysay. It just blows my mind. Why don't you guys do something constructive that actually helps try to find a little 5-year-old girl who's now, what, almost 10? Almost 10? Is she almost
If she was alive, she would be.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
February, yeah.
Right. Wow.
These people do not care about their own child. Can you imagine a mother that does not care about her own child?
I know. And the girl that's been going after Ziggy for eons, she doesn't care about her own kids.
Who's that?
Oh, I don't really even want to say her name because
okay, that's fine.
Yeah, because
I'll tell you privately, Donna. She's wicked, and she's come after me. She got my video.
And you, yeah, and Donna. She's been talking about lately, of course, but
well, there's a lot of women involved in SA too. Like when I worked at the juvenile institution, there's a whole cottage full of female SAs that go around doing the same thing the males do. It's surprisingly, it's not talked about, but there is quite a bit more than people realize.
Yeah. Donna, real quick, Dixie and Tennessee Mountains, Thanks again, Dixie, for the $2. She says Reservoir and Diana Lane. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
We'll
that's
have
where
to
that
look
was.
that up later.
Okay, yeah,
Uh-huh.
look it up later, Donna. It could be important.
Yeah, that's right
Yeah,
there
we'll
where I
look it up.
sent you.
Thank you
Lauren.
very much, Dixie.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dixie. Appreciate it.
It's right there where I sent you. It's right that same Weeping Willow community. What she's
Okay.
talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I want to ask you guys, are you guys done for today, or you want to go like 10, 15 more minutes and call it a day? What do you guys
Yep.
up to?
We can have Fred
well-
finish off with anything he thinks is important till
Okay,
he's
let's
tired
do
of
I would have
talking.
an appointment in 30 minutes, so we're good for a couple minutes
Okay.
here.
Ziggy, you call the shots, then you tell me when you got to go, and then we'll split at that point.
Well, we
okay?
can see if there's any last things.
I'm
Yeah.
just trying to think. I mean,
Yeah, stop bandit.
It's been very insightful.
it's hard for me to think of anything really.
Yeah.
I know Don on the 16th too. Me and Ziggy was talking about it earlier. He brought me some cigarettes and stuff that day. He brought me 2 packs of cigarettes, and he's like, "Well, I didn't want you to take and be without cigarettes and be mad at me and stuff because you can't get in and out." And I didn't think nothing about it at the time, but we think about it earlier. That's kind of weird too. You doing that, and why are you worried about that? Me being mad at you or whatever over your daughter going missing and me not being able to get out and get cigarettes or whatever. I mean,
Yeah, that's the first time I heard about that was today. You said that,
Yeah.
and I was like, yeah, that's interesting. I'm glad you brought that up because, Don brought him some cigarettes just out of nowhere and was like, I don't want you to be mad at me that you can't get out. It's like, what the heck? That's kind of like on the 16th.
Well, he's wanting to see what
Yeah.
Fred says. He wants to
Yeah.
know what Fred saw.
Yes.
yeah.
That's the bottom line. He wants to know what Fred
probing.
saw.
Probing.
I mean,
yeah.
he'd never do something like that before. It's not like they were
No.
close at all or
No.
anything.
That's the first time he ever done that.
But he was asking you on the 15th if you saw Andy on the road.
Yeah,
That was
I mean,
weird.
that
That
was
was very
one
weird.
to
He
six
asked you
times.
that?
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
John
Tom,
Wells
that was the night of.
running
Yeah,
wasn't it?
the night of.
damage control there.
That's weird.
That's the only
So the-
person he asked about is if he saw Andy Bernard on the road. Because
That's
it
what
must have
got
got back from Andy to Don that, oh shit, Fred saw me on the road. Andy must have went and told Don, and that's probably why Don asked Fred if he saw him on the road to see what Fred would say. We even know he knew already because obviously he had talked to Andy or somebody. How did he know that?
Yeah, it's hard to remember everything that we talked about. You know, I mean, some
No.
days I'll be sitting there thinking, and stuff will come to me that we had talked about and stuff. And
I know, and it sucks because the longer time goes on, the harder it is to remember things. And we, they need.
because it wasn't just one time he was there. It ain't just one time you got to think about and remember everything he said. It's a blue million times he was there in the first 4 or 5 days. I mean, it was like you just couldn't get rid of him. He'd leave, and then you think he's going to be gone.
He was
and
paranoid.
then he right back in 30
That's
minutes or
weird.
an hour. And
Yeah, he was
Just-
paranoid about what you knew or what you were. I'm telling you.
Gosh, that's so bizarre.
and
to
he
me.
did get to be a nuisance, and we finally told him just not to come back.
Wow.
So every
Because-
witness up in there who's seen Andy Bernard is dead pretty much, other than Fred, who was arrested, went to jail for drugs, and luckily was taken out of that place by Ziggy and moved to another state. That's why Fred's alive. Fred is the most important witness at this point that
That's
we
how I
have.
think too. Yeah, and he's been slandered and defamed by these ratchet humans. Oh my God.
Made the scapegoat for sure. And that's why I'm,
Don even stated that he tried to set me up and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah,
He's
so
bragged about it.
John says that, and then the only one that I don't think is a disgusting human being is Ryan Finds Truth. He comes across as this nice guy
Yeah.
who works at Eastman or whatever. But I have to question why. So I could see if he hung around with Andy a little, he was trying to get on the property or whatever. But then he starts hanging around with him all the time and repeating what Andy says as truth. And then it seemed to even be engaging some slander against Fred, trying to discredit Fred, trying to discredit what most people know. No, Roy has been going in those hills his entire life. No, I do not feel like he accidentally fell. Okay, that is suspicious. And Ryan's hanging around with Andy, trying to convince everyone that that's okay. So maybe it's time for Ryan to take a step back and stop it.
And see, a lot of people's been interested in wanting him to do the Fields Road property, the 162 Fields Road property, and he's failed to show anything of that property. And that's what most people's interested in.
So Ryan Finds Truth, was he with Andy that day when he was filming the Fields Road property, or did he just go there by himself?
Showed the Fields Road property. They showed Fields Road, but when they got up to Fields Road property, they turned the camera completely away from the previous property and stuff, and never showed nothing of it. And they've never showed no videos or nothing of searching at the Fields Road property, period.
And people keep
they have at
asking for
125 on Ben Hill, but not the 162 Fields Road property.
So Ryan, was he with Andy that day when they drove up on Fields Road and then didn't show the property?
Yeah, because they drove to the end of the Fields Road. They went past Andy's parents' property on Fields Road and went to the end of the road and pulled up to a gate. And Andy gets out and he tells Ryan, "Oh, I've got a key to the gate and stuff." And then he gets out and can't get through the gate, which I didn't know he didn't have a key, because that's a forestry department. That it's a some kind of, and nobody got keys to that gate.
Donna,
so do you think he was playing Ryan, or do you think Ryan was complicit in this? Because they purposely did not show Andy's parents' property up there.
No, they've never showed that piece of property, as I know of, on any video of him.
No, it seems like Ryan's purposely trying to help Andy. That's what it seems like.
And what did you say about Ryan's daughters? Daughter.
Oh, they're Satanists.
How do you know that?
Because they're it's open on their Facebook. Like, they're a part of the Tennessee Satanic Sisterhood or whatever.
Wow.
That there's some explanations needed. And what about that Christmas tree topper that you sent me? What was that?
Yeah, that looked like a bunch of upside down crosses on top of his Christmas tree. That's what it looked like.
Okay, so Ryan with the nice baby face allows his daughters to put a Christmas tree with a bunch of upside down crosses on it.
Yeah, they're living there. I mean, the ones living there, that's practice that is open.
And on her Facebook. Yeah, on her Facebook, she follows the Satanist group and all that stuff. That's Ryan Finds Truth. I want an explanation from him as to what the heck he is doing here.
That is such a slippery slope, man. Satanism. Holy God.
Oh, that's flat out. Harming children is satanic.
100%.
That's the number one thing you would do if you were a Satanist.
Yeah. Sacrifice. Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them do hide behind squeaky clean images. As you've seen in Lori Vallow, a lot of them go to church, whatever religion. They hide behind churches. They go to church. You'll see these nice, upstanding people, but they're really Satanists. That make themselves, like Melanie Gibb in her pink sweater being interviewed by East Idaho News. What a joke that was.
Mm-hmm.
We got to protect the church. It's like, I have no mercy for people that harm children, none. And people who are complicit in helping them cover it up. I have no mercy at all.
It feels like people downplay just how dead serious this is. Satanism, all of it, this dark side of things. It is dead serious. It leads to every year, every day, kids go missing in the US because of Satanism and sacrifice. This is so serious, guys.
Michael Vaughan, the little kid from Idaho, he went missing on a human sacrifice day. Why is mainstream media not telling you? Yeah. Why is little Lena down in Texas? She went missing 2 or 3 days before a human sacrifice day. Summer Wells goes missing before a human sacrifice day. J.J. Vallow's murdered on the day they founded the Mormon Church, which is a Freemasonry organization. Mm-hmm. It's all connected.
It is.
And the people who run these organizations half the time that are supposedly issue the Amber Alerts are child traffickers themselves.
Yeah.
Okay. Look at Laura Silsby. I mean, if you're tuning into some person who isn't telling you this information but pretends to know a lot of stuff, you might ask yourself why you believe them.
And the evil outweighs the good and decent.
Oh yeah, there's just a bunch of people who are having a field day just making money off making a joke out of this and making a joke out of acting like it's a Jerry Springer show.
Right.
You know, let's get Don Wells drunk, and then Don Wells is joking about whatever happened to his daughter. It's just, the whole thing is repulsive to the point where
summer fish food. That's gross.
They called summer fish food.
Yeah, Don Wells called summer fish food. Oh, she's probably fish food. You know, that's what he said one time live.
He said a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
The resurrection thing really throws me off, that within hours of her disappearance, he's saying he's going to see her in the resurrection. I'll just never lose sight of that. That is so nuts. But he says that he, in my opinion, knew. He knew
she was gone. He knew she was gone.
Yeah. And there's actually
going to be killed. Maybe he even knew she was going to be killed when he did it. Maybe. Well, no, because I saw that she was supposed to go into some trafficking ring, but
I hear it.
Oh, I'm ready to do another reading. I'm so mad. But see, the thing is, on the last 2 readings, you guys, this just goes up and up and up because people like to come watch that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Can't talk about it. These type of people don't ever get arrested. Somebody even flew in on a helicopter to watch. Yeah. It's like that. I'm mad. I'm excuse me if you're like, why is this lady so furious? I'm furious. I'm mad. I'm furious that this was even allowed to happen, that this did happen, and the way people act, and then it infuriates me.
Completely.
You know, I almost feel like I need to apologize for being so mad. I wish I knew the Bible verse by heart where Jesus says, those who hurt a children should have a millstone around their neck and put in the water.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the death penalty. And it was reserved for people who hurt children.
Oh, I'm all for it. Yeah.
I trust and believe. I've had my freaking tantrums live several times.
Yeah.
I'm just, it's sad getting used to it. It's sad.
Yeah, it is. I don't know if I've had a tantrum yet. Have I had a tantrum one year?
I don't think you have. It's like I've like gone off the rails. Jody Sue just pushed me over the edge. Like,
yeah,
she just pushed me over the edge. But I tell you, lady, if you were in a room with me, you would walk out apologizing one way or another. That's all I have to say. You think I'm a pushover because I'm nice. You think I'm a pushover because I put up with a lot. You think I'm a pushover because I don't respond. If I wanted to respond, you wouldn't even see it coming.
Yeah.
Okay. So there.
Definitely. Ziggy, do you have to go right now?
Yeah, we have to go.
I figured you did.
Appointments, but
okay.
You know, we could still have.
We're gonna have to do a part 3.
Yeah, we could.
We're only to day 2.
I know, and there's so much info. I feel like, especially.
Oh yeah, no. The key is with Fred here. The key is with Fred, and I knew that as soon as I started talking with him, and he knew what I was talking about from my readings that had never been uploaded. Yeah. And I was like, in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, this guy can solve this case, and I got like chills on both legs.
Donna, would you tell the story real quick about how you connected with Ziggy and how you realized that you and Fred could come together and really figure this stuff out? Will you?
Well, the interesting thing is 2 or 3 years ago, whenever Fred was in jail, I think is the first time Ziggy contacted me. And at that time, it was just, all I saw was Jerry Springer, and I wanted nothing to do with this case with the Jerry Springer YouTubers, right?
Right.
And then I agreed to talk to Fred while he was in jail. And I told him I'm recording this and I might put it on my YouTube channel and stuff. So we had a conversation. I don't even remember what it was about. I do remember feeling like he answered all my questions. He didn't hesitate. He was cooperative. But then I just kind of forgot about it. And then a couple of weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago, Ziggy contacted me again, and I can't remember why, on Facebook. And I thought, you know, I'm not going to probably do more readings on that case. I'll just give you all my files. And then I gave them a bunch of files, and then Fred is hard of hearing, so that wouldn't work. But so anyways, I said, there's a couple things out of a couple readings I never uploaded, and I started describing the handoff. He knew exactly who I was talking about. Doug Gott with the hunchback, and he hangs around right across from John Smith at that barn, and he also hangs around Stardust. John Smith, of course, Andy Bernard's uncle, now dead. Doug Gott, now dead. Roy Cotton, now dead. They're all dead. Everyone who saw something is dead except for Fred, because he's in another state. That's why he's alive. Mm-hmm. He is the only living witness that we need right now. And he knew who I was talking about. And then I said, do you know anyone with a stammer? I described that. He knew exactly instantly knew who I was talking about. Yeah. And then he pointed out, and his girlfriend is the one all the locals think that pushed Roy Cotton off the cliff or whatever. Right. And then I'm like, oh my God. But it's like when I had the thought that Fred Hill actually could solve this case, I literally had chills over both of my legs. So we just were like, we need to talk to Lauren and go live on this, That's
so cool. Yeah.
I think people need to listen to Fred.
I do too.
And stop listening to the Bernard. If their last name is a Bernard, don't even bother listening. It's all what's that called? Distraction and diversion and
diversion.
That whole thing of Jody Sue pretending she's the mad housewife and give her some cigarette money. At the same time, she's attacking anybody actually trying to solve it, or attacking anyone that talks about the person she's accusing. Forget about her. Forget about her. Yeah. Forget about any of these idiots, total complete idiots who are out there and just making this into a joke.
Right.
Forget about them.
Hey, Ziggy.
It's not a joke. I don't see it as a joke. I saw exactly what happened to that child, and it's not a joke. It's just not.
Ziggy, listen, I want you to feel free to go if you need to.
All right, guys.
Up here too. Yeah. I don't want to keep you so that you're late for your appointment, but thank you again so much, Ziggy and Fred. You guys are a wealth of knowledge. Love having you on. Donna, I love having you on. You guys
Thank you for having me. Sorry for my foul mouth. You know what? Yeah, I think these people mistake kindness for weakness.
They do. They think I'm weak too. I know. It's crazy.
I'm not weak. I'm far from it. Okay.
I know. And they've done it to Ziggy too. So it's
yeah.
What they
All
do.
Right. See you guys.
Bye,
okay.
Fred.
Bye, Ziggy. Bye, Fred.
And I want to say real quick to some members that joined. Joyce Dawn 100. Thank you for becoming a member. Country Girl. Let's see. Country Girl 69. Thank you for becoming a member. Pretty Sweet Pea. Thank you for becoming a member. Guys, thanks as always. Please remember to share the stream. This is very sound information, very good information. And if you did not catch our part 1, be sure to go catch it. I will link it in the description. Because most people don't investigate stories. Let's be real. They take other people's word for it. So that's where I have a problem. Don't come after Donna. She needs to be off limits, in my opinion. Her work speaks for itself. And don't attack Ziggy and Fred either. They are valuable resources.
If anyone is attacking Fred Hill or attempting to discredit Fred Hill, I can tell you that they have been affected by the people who have something to do with Summer missing.
Right.
Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I know. Okay, Donna, I'll let you go. Thank you, everybody. Please be sure to hit the like button on your way out. I really appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Definitely hit the like, and thank you very much, Lauren.
Oh, always, Donna. Great to see you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.